The first film you're going to see, Hollywood Story. We're very excited to show this tonight, most particularly because we have the star of that film and so many other films, such as Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bend of the River. Please welcome our special guest tonight, Ms. Julie Adams.
Everybody looks so young. Goodness gracious. But it was fun. It was fun to see it, and I thought it was very well directed, didn't you?
Yes, it absolutely was.
Very well
Bill Castle, what do you remember about William Castle as a director and working with him on this film?
Well, I just remember that he made it all seem easy. It was it was simple. Whatever he mentioned that he wanted was done very quietly, and you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience very much, and this was really my very first movie under contract, because I worked in a film called Bright Victory, and from that they took up the option for a contract, and Leonard Goldstein. I believe it was Leonard Goldstein.
Yeah, he was the producer.
Yes, he was the producer.
Right.
And I heard that he wanted to see me, and I went to his office and said hello, and he said, I saw Bright Victory the other night, you're pretty good, you want to do a movie? And I said, I'd be glad to read for it. Nobody had ever offered me a job before, just without anything, so it was lovely. It was a wonderful, very, very good experience, and Conte was such a charming man, as you see, a very fine actor, and very, once again, had a wonderful ease about him, and gave a good tone to this picture.
Absolutely, and Richard Conte just celebrated, he's no longer with us, he unfortunately passed away in 1975, but I think last week was his centennial, believe it or not.
Oh,
what about some of the character actors in here were wonderful. I mean, Jim Backus was just a naturally funny guy. I think a lot of people remember him as the voice of Mr. Magoo, but there was a lot more to Jim Backus than that, wasn't there?
Oh, yes, indeed. And he was also in Bright Victory. And
yes.
Yeah, it was, no, he was a wonderful actor, and it was very wise to have him do the narration.
Yeah, the voiceover narration, yeah. Remember, he used to call the Polo Lounge the Polio Lounge. He's a character.
There was one thing I was disappointed in, that because I had one scene, well, they had a scene in the movie where they ran some film of my mother in the film, and so I had this wonderful white wig. She was playing Marie Antoinette, and I had this white wig, and so we acted out this scene from a silent movie.
That was when you were with Paul Cavanaugh acting that out.
That's right.
Right.
And that was, it was really fun, and I guess we got cut. Anyway.
I thought it was one of the interesting things about the film, obviously, was the incorporation of the silent era, the whole Desmond Taylor story rolled into that, and then Francis X. Bushman, and now, not to date you, but that was, 22, 23 years ago, so the silent era was still in the public memory.
Yes.
And these people, was that a kind of a big deal at the time, to have those people back in the movie and have that as part of the theme of the movie? I read that the premiere was introduced by Jack Benny in Hollywood, and was there a lot of publicity associated with it?
It was quite a big deal, because the people in the film from the silent era had been big stars, and they were still well known to the public. So it was quite exciting, and it was wonderful to be with them, to shake hands with them and just be there. And one of the, probably you all recognize the spot on, is it Highland, where Charlie Chaplin's studios were, that they used there at the beginning, and we went in, and I guess they didn't really use that, but we went into the old prop room with all of Charlie Chaplin's props and so on, and it had a very strong atmosphere of that you really felt these inanimate objects were speaking to us, and of all those times. And so it was very exciting in those ways.
Now, your career, you mentioned this was really your first contract picture at Universal. You were in that last era of the studio era of the contract players, and I've had Dick Erdman, Joan Leslie, other people talk about what it was like at Warner Brothers, where they took you and they trained you how to act and how to dance and who to go to the premiere with and all that. What was it like being under contract at Universal?
Yes, it really was like that. It was, and for me, who was really relatively freshly from Arkansas, to have a home that really was like that, because everyone was your friend. Bud Westmore was the head of makeup, Joanne St. Oger of hair, and we knew everyone in wardrobe, and at that time they made your clothes. You didn't really go, they didn't shop for them. They were designed and made. And so you had friends all over the lot. And when, as you said, we could go for dancing lessons, we could go for speech lessons, for acting. Sophie Rosenstein was the head of that for the young talent. And once I was working in a Western and had a lot of writing to do in it. I was playing a Mexican bandit girl. It was kind of catching.
From Arkansas.
That's right, from Arkansas. It was wonderful. And I did a lot of writing in the picture on the Mexican style, which was different. And so they had a wonderful wrangler come out, and we went riding together every day for 3 weeks before the picture started. Right. So that then I could really do that role. I must have been 3 or 4 movies with Rock Hudson, who became a very good friend, and, and everyone. So as I said, it was like a family for me.
Yeah, and they, as well as the actors, they had the directors, the in-house directors, like Bill Castle, Jack Arnold, Joe Pevney, all of those people. So you did feel that family connection and
exactly.
Almost paternalistic if you got in trouble. I mean, the studio was there, kind of like you know, Big Daddy to help you.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
I remember once I was working on a picture. I think it was with Rock Hudson and Ann Baxter, One Desire, and I played this rather wicked woman. A mean woman, and I got my just desserts in the movie, and I was drinking and angry, and a lamp fell over and caught the curtains on fire. So we have
to screen that movie. It's right in here.
So we had just done the scene where I'm fighting to get out through the flames, you know, and it was also hot. It was hotter than I thought of. And Tommy Shaw, I was backing out because the heat was so strong. He said, go back, we can't do it over, you know. I was trying to go back. So finally, I got rid of that, and I was driving, and I had a small accident. I don't even believe it was my fault. Somebody came out and had an accident, and because I was an actress, they said, oh, she was drinking, that's what happened, you know. And I hadn't been drinking at all, so the studio came right to the fore. They had people from the picture where I'd been shooting, right down to the people where I went out the gate. And everybody said, no, she didn't have a drink. So they came right to my aid.
The studio was the first responder.
And they dropped it.